Joining us this afternoon, Harry Moser, founder and president of the Reshoring initiative from the US. Thank you for joining us at the National Manufacturing Debate here at Cranfield. Just want to ask you a couple of questions following on from your talk that you've just presented. First of all, just to give our viewers a bit of a background on the Reshoring initiative that you've started in the US. Can you just give us a bit of a background of what exactly the initiative is?
Our job is to bring manufacturing jobs back to the U.S. by helping companies make better decisions about what they offshore and what they reshore, what they produce or source, say, in China, and what they produce or source in the U.S. And we do that by documenting the trend, by promoting the trend. I'll give about 100 presentations a year around the country, a little bit outside, and then providing free tools for the companies to use to make better decisions.
And I noticed part of the key drivers for US firms looking to reshore was actually brand, the Made in the US brand, something that we try to tout a lot here as well, the Made in the UK brand. But how significant is that now from a consumer standpoint? Is the Made in the US brand something that consumers are actively seeking out to find products that are in fact made in the US?
Consumer preference surveys repeatedly show yes, that the desire to buy a made in U.S. product has risen dramatically, and the willingness to buy a made in China product has dropped. And you can see it in the retailer's behavior. So Walmart, the largest retailer in the world, has announced a program to increase their purchases of Made in USA product by $250 billion, that's with a B, billion dollars over 10 years. That will increase U.S. employment by about 300,000 manufacturing jobs. And one reason they're doing that is because they know the consumer prefers a Made in USA product.
And just talking about the jobs there as well, you stated that one of the major drives for reshoring in the US as well, I'll just start that again, sorry. Skilled workforce. This was a real crucial element in the reshoring movement in the US. It wasn't that long ago the US, and maybe they still are, and you can let me know about that as well, but is the US still suffering from the skills shortage and this skills gap that we're seeing in the UK? And if that is shifting, what part did reshoring play on shifting that perception for young people getting into the manufacturing industry and the engineering sectors?
The skilled workforce gap, the shortage, is probably the most severe it's ever been, because manufacturing has revived, and although the number of people being trained, the number of skilled people being trained is going up, it's not going up as fast as the retirees of the baby boomers and the increase in output. So the problem's gotten worse, even at the time when the skilled workforce training has gotten better. So the part that reshoring has played has been to improve the visibility of manufacturing growing again in the US, which makes it more likely that the student will decide to go into a manufacturing career, but it's a hard struggle. Everybody thinks they should be a TV interviewer, as opposed to a toolmaker or a precision machinist. And so it's a hard struggle to convince them to go for those technical trades or technical professions.
You say technical professions, and I'd just like to touch on one of the other things that I thought was very interesting. Such a simple idea, but I would like to know if it's effective, and that was just changing the definitions that you give workers. It's no longer high skill workers, medium skill, low skill. You're looking more at academic, technical skill and manual skill. Where did this idea come from? And it seems so simple, but how effective can that be?
Well, that's my idea.
That was yours.
That's why I use it. but it seems so obvious. Are you a parent?
Not yet.
Okay, but when you are a parent and your child is 15, 16. Would you want to send them into a middle skill job, suggesting they're never going to rise to the top, or would you like to send them into a technical skilled job, which suggests there's no limit to what they can do? So the U.S., Britain and the U.S., I think both are overly focused on university degrees. So in the U.S., 40% of the population that has a university degree are in jobs that don't require a university degree. So we vastly overproduce college graduates, and we vastly underproduce tool makers, precision machinists, welders, and so on. And the easiest way to change that is to change the perceptions. Easiest way to do that is to change the words.
Sounds easy enough. I'm sure it's not. And just finally, there was a point that you brought up as well, and that was that focusing on reshoring should be more important than focusing on exporting. Why?
Well, we would say that the return on investment on focusing on reshoring will be higher, because you can have some control over what happens inside your country. You can change perceptions of people wanting to buy made in UK product. It's much harder to convince people in China to decide to buy made in UK. It's hard to deal with the tariff barriers and the non-tariff barriers that other countries create. It's hard to overcome the extra 15-20% of cost when you have to export, and it's easier to take advantage of the 15-20% extra cost they have when they ship things here. So it's like in rugby or football, it's easier to win on your home field.
Fair enough. Harry Moser, thank you so much for joining us today. Really appreciate it.
Thank you. Yep.